nearly 7,000. But we spent way too much on seed. I bought the blade on the Zerion, but that turns out to be a very good purchase. Zerion keeps getting stuck on the silage when it's running unaided. And the blade does actually make it easier to at least level out the silage, not compact it, but level it out. I just wish it worked on the joystick rather than on the mouse. But it doesn't always happen that way. As we're rounding out from the new year, I should probably check with Mrs. Osa and see if she wants to start up a new multiplay farm. Rest. Engine back on. So I did try and look up some videos of British farming on YouTube this morning. Didn't come away with an awful lot that was that useful. Put it back on the worker. There were featured a fair number of tractors that look like that. Some in green, some in red, some in yellow. Didn't see anything like that or that. But the tracked tractors, yeah. What else did they have? Plows tended to be... Didn't see any ploughing, must admit. They tended to be on the small side if they were ploughing. Same with cultivators. Cultivators seem to be probably talking about that big, about 6 meters thereabouts. Same with the seeders, they were all fairly small. Ugh. Yeah, only 6 meter equipment, but they were hauled by big 400 horsepower tractors. It's kind of amusing. Oh, are you done? You're still going? Yeah, you're still going. So there's not a problem with having big tractors. There was one which had, truck and trailer parked at the side of the field with a harvester tipping into it. Harvesters, Lexion 780s. Where's the case? Harvesters. Big case harvesters. I'm not sure which one, but the big axial flows. So it's not so much that you don't have big equipment in the UK, it's just what they're doing. And really what I'm looking at is for farming practices as opposed to shots of tractors driving across fields, which is the only videos I could actually find. I'd like to find something like a millennial farmer for the UK who's explaining what he's doing and releasing videos on a regular schedule, so I can actually see farming practice as opposed to just somebody. It's all drone footage, but it's almost what you'd find if you were driving down a country lane and, oh look, there's a harvester harvesting, I'll take a quick video of that happening and then drive on, and it's we're definitely eating through this field. So I will keep looking for UK farming videos that are a little more detailed in process and less on, hey, look at this big shiny equipment driving across a field. Oh, there was also the big what's the potato harvester? One of these, the Textron 415. They had a shot of that doing its thing. And I've just hooked up onto the fence. Great. There's also a shot of a smaller tractor running through either a potato or a sugar beet field with just the topper, taking the tops off the crop before you actually start harvesting it. And yay. I'm going to slow way down, get a little bit more separation between these three vehicles. There we go. How to manipulate traffic. Rather than having three cars nose to tail, we now have three cars with a little bit of separation between the second and third one. And that's me crashing into the fence again. Okay, I think I want to be left side this time. Yeah, I think final count on digestate usage this year on my fields has worked out to 1.2 million litres, give or take. About 150% of the digestate tank. Now, we never completely depleted it because I've been every time I've used some, I've then immediately sold some silage through the BGA digester in order to replenish the tank. I've actually sold more silage through the digester than I needed to replenish the tank, but I was really just looking for, I need the tank full again, and I don't, here's a stack of silage, let's just sell it. Some of the silage this year I sold at the main agro store rather than at the BGA, just because I didn't need it lying around the farm, and the digestate tank was full at that time of year. But I decided I just couldn't be bothered to feed silage bales in 2 at a time with the front loader. But since I've discovered I can do a direct unload into the digester from the autoload trailer, it doesn't necessarily have to be a thing. But just driving past the bale sell point at the main agro store, you can unload the bales onto the back of the trailer and they just immediately sell. So that's convenience. Where is the harvester? Oh, right in front of me. He just didn't fill up. And don't need to reverse. That's still a lot of rows we've got to do. Come on. Why don't you want to go? You have not completed your task. Don't lie. Okay. I'm guessing that was too close to the end for the forager to think it was worth continuing. Now off you go. Yeah, no problem. We're getting, 60,000, not quite 60,000 litres from a row. I really can't tell how many rows we're going to get out of this. If it's 10, that's another 600,000 litres. We're probably going to have to take a break from harvesting. Probably closer to when we got about 600,000 litres in that bunker number 5, and do a little bit of compaction and levelling so we can carry on emptying the truck. What I'm hoping is that we get to the point where it's too dark to harvest on the field, and at that point we'll stop the field work and go do the levelling with the Zerion. Maybe compact it as well, because if I can get it close to 100, then it's... Oops. Back up a bit and try that again. yeah, we'll compact it in the dark because the BGA is fairly well lit. And we've still got all day tomorrow to finish this field off and head down to field 4 and finish that one off too. Now with field 4 I'm still planning to empty into the that's full, isn't it? Yeah. Into the bunker at the cow yard, so I don't have to travel quite so far at the end of that. Be able to set the axioms loose. I think the green one's on the cultivator, so once all the cultivation's done I'm going to have to shift that down to the mowing equipment at the sheep farm. We're also going to have to feed the sheep and grass to the cows tomorrow as well. Thinking for the next series, I mean, I have a plan to be using a variety of equipment, large and small. We want to run along the side of this if we can. But if we do that, probably going to want a mixture of sort of large loading wagon, small loading wagon, large tippers and small tippers. I'm also planning, I may have a semi-truck as well, and some big trailers that I can haul stuff to market. I'm also looking forward to, I think it's Black Sheep Modding are bringing out a MAN truck mod, which is in a similar vein to the AR frame system, although a far more limited selection of frames. They just have a tipper and a short flatbed, although the flatbed does have a shelf over the cab roof as well. But I think I'd like to make use of that, because trucks this size on roads this size are very convenient. Because a lot of the actually I'm not sure Oakfield is a bad map. It has a silo at the main farm and at the big farm, so depending on my area of operations, if I buy both farmyards I can I can shuttle crop down to the pig farm silo when I'm not doing anything else, and then sell direct from there when the price is right. I'm fairly certain Oakfield Farm is going to be the next map on this particular series. So big farm, big equipment, big operation. Now once and it's what, 20 after 10 now. I am pretty certain I'm not going to get this all done today on this stream. I will probably play some more off camera this afternoon just to get at least this silage out of the way, compacted, covered. There's the mowing tomorrow, which is more silage bales. They're going to take until midwinter to brew, so we're not going to be replenishing the digestate tank anytime soon. And then once that's all done, if I play this map like crazy, it will be done before the weekend. Now Saturday stream can be the last episode, I hope. And I'll look through the mods I've used and thank the modders as a part of the last video. We'll try and get all the crops that I'm planning to sell sold off. We'll work out the value of all the animals and the like, and we will close up shop. But I think apart from this silage harvest, I have quite enjoyed playing this one. While I could continue the series, I think it's time to move to the newer game and a newer map. So I'm not sure I'm going to enjoy Oakfield Farm as much as I've enjoyed this one. Then I'll probably for the next few weeks we'll probably do something entirely different. Not necessarily entirely different. I'll be playing Ungertsheim because I've neglected that for the last 2 weeks. That's taken a Christmas break. So we'll get back to that map, which is smaller, older equipment on a map with hundreds of fields at lots of contracts. And I want to get that one through to at least harvest. I may go a second year on that one, although it's a slow series because it's small equipment and I'm playing 9-day seasons. Just because I really wanted to trial out 9-day seasons as opposed to just anything else. I'm not sure I should have done. 6-day seasons is good. I'm also playing it as a general sort of ×5 speed at least, but I'm not going as sort of over the top as I did with the old Stream Farm seasons, where it was ×5 1 day per stream, strictly ×5 all the way through it. With Ungertsheim, I will play at ×15 or ×30 if I just want to move time along and not with the old Stream Farm, if I had an entire afternoon, well, it's raining all afternoon, and so I can't do any field work, I can't do any contracts. I did do some logging on the afternoons, but stuck with the ×5 speed as opposed to skipping through time really fast. And it was only towards the end, where I was harvesting and basically closing the series down, that I did fast wind time more than just running at ×5. With Ungertsheim, I'll fast wind if I need to, but we'll try and stick. Yeah, we try to stick to ×5 when we're doing anything. But if it's sort of 4 o'clock in the afternoon, I'm not going to get any more contracts done today, I don't have anything else to do on my farm, I'll bump it up to ×30 and drive the tractor home. But like I said, it's a 9-day season, so it's a very slow moving season, and with the equipment I have, that's also very slow moving as well. Pack 3, turn the worker off, turn the engine back on again. Now, I'm not sure I'm going to do what's it? The Valley the Old Farm. Black Sheep Modding is bringing out for Farm Sim 19. And once again, I'm not sure I'm going to do that one. I did sort of fumble around with it briefly before I settled on Lawfolds back in Farm Sim 17, and keep that up. It really wasn't a map that inspired me much, and so it's probably not one I'm going to concentrate on. I might do the Campaign of France though, because that's another small map like the Old Stream Farm, but it's different, but it's the same style. But kind of thinking it might be a nice map to take a look at and at least play through 1 year on 6-day seasons. I definitely prefer playing with seasons than I do open, standard game. And I'll also have a discussion with Mrs. Osa, see what she wants to do. We were playing Field Mountain. That got kind of repetitive, and it would. I mean, a beautiful map. I'm not taking it away from the author, but there were a lot of trees, and I think the intent was that you should probably be making at least some money from logging. Mrs. Osa is not really a logging person, so at the end of the day you had, we had about 5 fields, and there were 3 fields to contract on. So the way I felt with that was it was very repetitive, and we were getting to the point where we weren't really discovering anything new. There's nothing more to buy. At least with something like the Old Stream Farm, there's multiple fields there, so one, that gives you more available contracts, and two, it gives you plots of land you can save up for and buy and expand the farm. Still allows us to, we were using a pair of Valtra A's, heavily up-engined. They were a mod, but that was a nice little farm to run. But as I said, not enough fields, too much logging.